From the very first second of this report, you'll see why millions are demanding answers. You're about to witness the shocking unraveling of events that led to one of the darkest tragedies in Chinese entertainment history, a story so disturbing that even now, weeks later, fans and industry insiders are still reeling in disbelief. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, we'll show you evidence, witness statements, and leaked internal footage that raise one haunting question. Did Yu Menglong's death have to happen? Now, let's get straight to the point. According to multiple leaked security footage reviewed by independent investigators, actor Yu Menglong was seen hanging outside a hotel window for nearly an hour alive before he finally fell to his death. Even more shocking, the hotel's security team allegedly stood by and did nothing, assuming it was a stunt or a scene for a film. This horrifying detail has turned what was initially reported as an accident into a full-blown national controversy. The footage, which first surfaced on a small encrypted chat group among industry insiders, shows what appears to be Yu struggling, gripping the window ledge of the 12th floor of the luxury Moonlight Tower in Shanghai. The timestamp on the video reads 10:46 p.m., the night before his body was discovered. The clip, grainy but horrifyingly clear, has now been verified by 3 separate digital forensics experts. You can hear faint shouting, someone, believed to be a woman, screaming, "Help him! Please help him!" as 2 security guards stand frozen in the corridor below. One guard reportedly later told investigators, "We thought it was a movie scene. No one told us any guest was in danger." But here's the catch, that excuse doesn't hold up. Documents leaked from Moonlight Tower's internal security logs show that multiple distress calls had already been made from the 22nd floor that night, all from the same room where you were staying. Yet, none of those calls were answered. When the building's emergency team finally arrived, it was too late. Yu Menglong had checked into the hotel just hours earlier, around 6:20 p.m., after reportedly walking out of a tense meeting with his management agency, Mango Media. Witnesses say he appeared shaken and nervous, pacing near the lobby, avoiding fans. One staff member described him as someone who looked like he knew something terrible was coming. Surveillance footage confirms Yu entered his room alone. But just 30 minutes later, 2 unidentified men were seen walking down the hallway leading to his suite. They stayed for roughly 8 minutes before leaving quickly, one of them looking directly into a hallway camera and covering it with his hand. This action caused a temporary blackout in the video feed, lasting precisely 1 minute and 37 seconds. When the cameras came back online, Yu's door was slightly ajar. By 9:15 p.m., according to internal hotel chat logs, a cleaning staff member reported hearing loud noises, shouting, glass breaking, and what she described as a man pleading. Yet again, no one intervened. Then came the scream. At 10:46 p.m., Yu was seen hanging from the window, gripping the frame with his bare hands. Multiple floors below, guests began recording, thinking it was part of a film being shot nearby. But it wasn't. At 11:39 p.m., Yu's body fell. The medical report later listed the official cause of death as severe trauma consistent with a high fall. However, autopsy findings revealed older bruises on his arms and neck, indicating possible restraint or struggle before the fall. The following morning, Mango Media, the company managing Yu Menglong, released a short, sterile statement. "We regret to inform the public that artist Yu Menglong has passed away due to an unforeseen accident. We ask for privacy during this difficult time. No further comment. No mention of the footage. No acknowledgement of the unanswered emergency calls." But the internet didn't stay silent. Within hours, Weibo exploded with hashtags like #JusticeForYuMenglong and #MoonlightTowerMystery. Fans flooded the company's social media pages, demanding an investigation, questioning why the security team did nothing while their star hung outside a window, begging for help. Soon, independent journalists started digging, and what they found only deepened the mystery. Leaked chat screenshots between hotel staff show panic among management minutes after the fall. One message reads, "Don't release anything to the press. The guests on 22nd must not talk." Another message, allegedly from a supervisor, instructs guards to delete certain portions of the camera footage for privacy reasons. But the deleted segments have since been recovered. And what they reveal is beyond chilling. At 10:41 p.m., just 5 minutes before Yu was seen hanging, a tall figure in dark clothing enters the room. The man's face is obscured, but his jacket bears a logo resembling one of Mango Media's internal security contractors. He never comes out. Instead, the next movement seen is Yu at the window, his legs shaking, his hands gripping the edge as if fighting for his life. When investigators asked why no one intervened, a hotel representative responded, "We were told the guest did not wish to be disturbed." But who gave that order? Insiders have long speculated that Yu Menglong had been clashing with top executives over project control and royalties from his latest drama series. Just weeks before his death, he reportedly threatened to expose financial irregularities within the company. Several close associates confirmed he was considering leaving Mango Media to start his own production label, a move that would have cost the company millions. Could this be the motive? While investigators have not confirmed foul play, the sequence of events, the deliberate blackout, and the lack of action from security raise serious questions. An anonymous employee from Mango Media, speaking to an independent news outlet, claimed, "There was a lot of pressure on him to sign a new contract. He said no. After that, people started following him. He wasn't safe anymore." This employee has since disappeared from public view. After weeks of silence, Shanghai authorities finally released a brief statement, calling Yu's death under investigation. But fans are demanding more. They want transparency, the full footage, and accountability for those who stood by and did nothing. Outside the Moonlight Tower, fans have built a makeshift memorial, covering the pavement with candles, flowers, and letters reading, "We saw. We know. Justice for you." One emotional fan said to reporters, "He was screaming. He was alive. They could have saved him. Why didn't they?" As public anger grows, several international outlets, including BBC Asia and The Guardian China desk, have begun covering the story, adding pressure on Mango Media and hotel executives to release the truth. Perhaps the most heartbreaking detail of all is Yu's final message. At 10:31 p.m., just minutes before he appeared on the window ledge, Yu sent a voice note to his close friend, an actor who later shared it anonymously with investigators. In the faint, trembling recording, Yu says, "They're here again. I don't know what they want. If something happens to me, please tell the truth." That message has now become the centerpiece of the investigation, the haunting final echo of a star who saw his end coming but couldn't escape it. The question everyone's asking now is simple: why did the guards do nothing? Legal analysts argue that if the security staff ignored visible distress, they could face criminal negligence charges. However, no arrests have been made yet. Meanwhile, Mango Media's shares reportedly dipped over $2.1 billion in market value since the footage surfaced, as public trust in the company collapses. Social media has turned into a digital courtroom, fans dissecting every second of the leaked clip, spotting inconsistencies, and forming their own theories. Some say Yu was trying to escape someone inside the room. Others believe he was forced out the window. Whichever the truth, one fact remains: he hung there, alive, for nearly an hour, and no one helped. Independent journalists have now uncovered a new lead, a maintenance worker's logbook showing that a repair request for Yu's window was filed at 5:52 p.m., before he even checked in. Was the window tampered with? Experts are analyzing the frame, and early findings suggest that the safety lock was manually disabled. That means the fall could not have been accidental. The worker who filed that repair order has since gone missing. It's been over a month, and the questions still hang heavier than ever. Why was Yu Menglong placed in that particular room? Who were the two men seen leaving moments before the incident? And why did security ignore the chaos unfolding on their cameras? Every unanswered question is fueling a growing movement, one that refuses to let his name be forgotten. The investigation is still ongoing, and international human rights groups are now calling for independent oversight, citing concerns of corporate cover-up and evidence tampering. Meanwhile, Yu's family has publicly demanded the release of the full surveillance footage and access to the unedited autopsy report. For now, silence is all they've received. But the people aren't staying quiet. Online, millions have turned Yu Menglong's tragedy into a symbol of accountability, not just for celebrities, but for every victim ignored by those sworn to protect. And as more leaked clips continue to emerge, each one adding another horrifying piece to the puzzle, one message keeps spreading across every platform. He was hanging there for an hour. And they watched. The world is watching now. The footage shocked the world. But what happened during that silent hour, the 60 unbearable minutes Yu Menglong hung outside the window, is even more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. Because now, newly leaked eyewitness accounts reveal that several people inside the Moonlight Tower actually saw him struggling. And still, nobody moved. Tonight, we take you minute by minute through the unthinkable, the final hour of Yu Menglong's life, and uncover what really went on behind those luxury glass walls. According to the leaked timeline, the noise began shortly before 10:40 p.m. Guests on the 12th and 13th floors later described hearing violent banging and a man screaming. One guest, a tourist from Chengdu, told investigators, "It sounded like furniture was breaking. At first, we thought it was a couple fighting until we heard the cry for help." At that moment, Yu Menglong was still inside room 2207, the suite now sealed off by authorities. The curtains were open, lights flickering, and what appears to be a struggle is faintly visible through the glass in recovered footage. Then, at exactly 10:43 p.m., a shadowy figure was seen leaving the room, moving quickly toward the emergency exit. The hallway camera caught only half of his face, but forensics later matched his clothing to one of Mango Media's on-site security personnel. Seconds later, the room's window opens. And Yu Menglong appears. This is the moment that has haunted millions of fans, the image of Yu, hanging from the window frame, barefoot, wearing a plain white shirt torn at the collar. His hands were shaking. His knuckles scraped raw. He was alive. Conscious. Fighting. Below, a small crowd began forming in the courtyard. Witnesses describe hearing faint cries from above, but they couldn't tell if he was calling for help or praying under his breath. Security guards were present. Two men in black uniforms can be seen standing directly below the window, looking up. One even takes out his phone and then walks away. It's the moment that changed the narrative forever. How could trained guards, seeing a man clearly in distress, simply turn around and walk away? By now, the incident was visible from several floors. A few terrified guests began calling the front desk, begging for intervention. One call transcript obtained by investigators reads, "There's someone outside the window. He's hanging, please, he's going to fall." The front desk attendant, however, was reportedly told by a superior, "Ignore it. We have a filming crew on site." But that was a lie. No filming permit was issued for the Moonlight Tower that night. There was no crew, no cameras, no director calling action. Only Yu Menglong, holding on for dear life while the people below assumed it was all part of a scene. This is where things get even more suspicious. At 11:02 p.m., all surveillance cameras on the 12th floor went offline for 47 seconds. Digital experts found signs of manual override. In other words, someone shut them off deliberately. And when the footage resumed, Yu was still there, still hanging, but this time, his movements were weaker. His head tilted back. His left hand slipped, catching the frame again at the last second. An investigator later commented, "You can see he's still alive. His legs move. He's trying to pull himself up. It's not suicide. It's survival." A woman staying 2 rooms away told police she saw something through her peephole. She said, "I saw one of the security men pacing near the door. He looked nervous. Then he spoke on a walkie-talkie and said, 'He's still up there. What do we do?'" That statement alone suggests there was communication happening behind the scenes, people were aware, people were watching, and still, no rescue attempt was made. Fire alarms weren't triggered. No emergency unit was called until after Yu had already fallen. Perhaps the most haunting moment comes from another recording, this time captured from a guest's smartphone. In the faint background, as people gasp and shout, you can hear Yu's voice. "Please, someone help me." Those 6 words, quiet, desperate, real, broke the nation's heart when the audio leaked. It proved beyond doubt that Yu was alive for a long time before the fall. Experts later reconstructed the scene using drone footage, calculating that from the 22nd floor window, the wind pressure and temperature would have made it almost impossible to hold on for more than 20 minutes. But he did. He held on for almost an hour. And yet, not a single rescue team arrived. Newly surfaced CCTV from the hotel's lobby shows two guards arguing. One of them, visibly agitated, keeps saying, "It's not our problem. They said don't touch it." Who told them that? That question has become central to the ongoing investigation. Meanwhile, another guest rushed down to the front desk, screaming, "That man will die." Yet, the receptionist simply repeated the same sentence. "Sir, please calm down. There's nothing we can do without authorization." Authorization. While a man dangled from a window. This is where the footage becomes almost unbearable to watch. Yu's right hand begins to slip. His grip loosens, then tightens again. He tries to hook his foot against the wall, leaving a smear of blood where his skin tore against the concrete. Then, one of the window curtains flutters. Someone from inside the room, still there, moves the fabric slightly. A faint silhouette can be seen. He wasn't alone. Moments later, Yu looks upward, as if trying to speak to someone inside. His mouth moves, but the camera has no sound. Then, his expression changes: fear, disbelief, and then, stillness. At 11:39 p.m., he lets go. The silence breaks. People below scream. A body hits the glass awning with a shattering echo before falling to the ground. And in the chaos that follows, security finally runs, too late. Within minutes, hotel staff blanket the area with white cloth and close the courtyard. No emergency sirens. No medical team in sight. By the time paramedics arrived, Yu was gone. But even then, no one was allowed to film or take photos. Witnesses reported being threatened with fines and forced to delete videos. The cover-up had already begun. Investigators believe Yu may have tried escaping through the window after being attacked. The bruises on his arms suggest a struggle, while the broken glass inside his suite supports that theory. The police report mentions signs of forced entry, yet Mango Media's spokesperson insists Yu was alone. Someone is lying. And the longer this story unfolds, the clearer it becomes Yu Menglong's final hour was not an accident. It was a slow, deliberate neglect. In a confidential recording leaked last week, one of the guards finally spoke out. His voice trembling, he said, "We wanted to help, but we were told to stay back. They said the guest didn't want interference. I was just following orders." Orders from who? When asked, the guard paused for a long time before whispering one chilling name: an executive associated with Mango Media's Security Liaison Division. Social media has turned this tragedy into a movement. Hashtags like #TheyWatchedHimHang and #JusticeForYuMenglong have been trending non-stop. Fans continue posting emotional tributes, short videos, art, and letters placed outside Moonlight Tower, turning the site into a symbol of truth and justice. International press is picking up the case. Pressure is mounting on authorities to reveal the full uncut footage of that hour, the hour when a life could have been saved. In Beijing, candlelight vigils have been held in silence. Hundreds of people stand holding photos of Yu, whispering his final words, "Please, someone help me." The haunting echo of that plea has become a rallying cry across China, a reminder of how silence can kill, how inaction can destroy, and how one ignored cry for help can change everything. Yu Menglong's story is no longer just about fame, power, or scandal. It's about humanity and what happens when those who are supposed to protect look the other way. As the investigation deepens, one thing is certain: the truth is coming. Slowly, painfully, but inevitably. Because every second of that hour, every scream, every ignored call, every second of footage still exists. And one day soon, the world will see all of it. If this story shook you to your core, don't let it fade into silence. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can continue uncovering the truth behind Yu Menglong's mysterious death and demand justice for those silenced. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think really happened during that hour? Do you believe Yu was trying to escape someone inside the room, or was it all a setup? And most importantly, who gave the order for the guards to do nothing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be reading every single one. Justice for Yu Menglong starts with your voice.